I used to do a lot of horse riding, and I find this car likes to go.
Hi folks, and welcome to Center Lane. I'm Bruce Hitchin, and today we're going to take a look at this beautiful 1954 Studebaker. Now, the car was the dream of Vince Gogolek and Karen Hoffman, who always wanted to buy a classic car and restore it, and they wanted to take it on a trip. This car is not just a restored car, it's a completely refurbished car. This may look like a 1954 Studebaker, but underneath the hood and inside, it's like a brand new vehicle. Let's talk to them about the car. Okay, well, I'm here with Vince and Karen, and I have to ask, you know, it's probably not everyone's childhood dream to own a Studebaker, but can you tell me a little bit about what got you interested in the car and why you chose this particular classic car to restore?
Well, the cars themselves, the Studebakers, have always been interesting to us because of the classic design, like you can see here, and they have other models as well. And so from that perspective, we always thought this would be a really cool car to restore and keep the kind of ideas and the art of the design of the car alive.
We both like Studebakers, and we narrowed it down to the 53, 54 coupe and hardtop, or the 50, 51 bullet nose. And I think we're both really glad that we got the coupe because, as Karen was saying, it's a classic.
It's a classic.
We're hoping to get a car in Canada, and preferably a Canadian car. And we managed to find this one in Hope, BC, and we contacted the owner, and it was a driver. So it was really good to get one that was running and licensed for the street, had all the trim and glass and everything in it. But we knew what we were going to do with it and turn it into a Restomod. So we didn't want something that was 8,000 original miles and has never been
perfect, yeah.
Never been out. It was what we wanted. We wanted a complete running car that we could just totally do over. No history, and unfortunately, the Studebaker National Museum in South Bend, which is a great resource, unfortunately they don't have the Canadian records. So if you had if this was a 54 built in South Bend, Indiana, we could probably get that, we'd trace back that history, but we can't get the build sheets or things from the ones that were built in Canada, which is a little bit weird, but considering the last 2 years that Studebaker built cars, they only built them in Hamilton.
Well, and that was one of the things that attracted us to the car as well. It had the little maple leaf on the glove box, and it was one of those things that was built in Canada. So we thought, hey, you know, that's one more thing that attracted us to this particular model and this particular car. We both enjoy driving, so we wanted it to have a stick shift. We wanted to have enough power that you could, you know, climb the mountains without feeling like you were, you know, puttering or running out of steam, and, you know, taking the corners and really enjoying the drive itself, as well as obviously the scenery that you're going through and the communities that you're seeing. So that was all part of the equation as we started to build out the car.
We looked around, we talked to other friends of ours that have had cars done, and of course we talked to Ewald and Kurt at Jellybean AutoCrafters. And I think the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, and they were also helpful as we were starting to narrow down which particular model and which particular car, because, you know, they steered us away from some things that we might have otherwise thought of just because of their experience. So that was really helpful too.
Yeah, we had a pretty good idea of what we wanted. We wanted a car that would be repairable anywhere in North America. We also wanted decent quality handling, but not a race car. So we wanted something that would be fun to drive, but would have a little bit of compliance for driving on the street, because that's primarily what it is as a driver. And I was thinking, yeah, maybe we should just get an automatic. And when Karen heard about the automatic,
I nixed the idea because, well, part of the whole fun of driving the car is having that, you know, ability to actually drive it. When we got down to the details, they would know, okay, well, this kind of suspension, or these kinds of brakes would make more sense given what you want to achieve. So it was really helpful. The trunk was really, we wanted it just as is, you know, the lid of the trunk, to restore it and replace it and then put it on. Then they had a really good look at it, took off the paint, and it was really kind of suggested, well, maybe we should look for a replacement, find another one, because this is going to take a lot of work and hours to restore. So they went and started looking for a replacement. They never could find a suitable one that was good enough. So we then had to, you know, sit down with them and say, okay, well, what's the decision here? Are we going to keep looking and extend the time period, or just bite the bullet and have them go ahead and restore it? So there were a lot of those kinds of things as we went along, but you just kind of, it's evolution, you know, like any restoration or any renovation, you know, you peel back you peel back what's there, and you got to make a decision as you go along as to how you're going to achieve what your objective is, and in the most, you know, still meets your dream, but at the same time is cost effective.
Doing the big stuff, like doing the frame, getting the engine fitted out, that all comes together relatively quickly. It's the fitment, all the little bits and pieces. That's what takes the time. The gaps on the car are crazy good. And people walk up to the car and they just go, wow, that's not factory, is it? Nope, no, it's not.
Well,
factory was nowhere close to this.
They kind of made their own deadline. They said, okay, we want to go to
the Grand National
Roadster Show. And we said, yeah, you can take the car with you if it's done, right? And so they said, okay, we'll make sure it's done. And they did. So they won best in class, which was kind of cool. So they hadn't expected it at all, but the car, as you can tell, is pretty nice.
A standard LS3, 435 horsepower, 6.2 liter. It's essentially the base Corvette engine from a few years back. Various modifications, like the air intake to get things to fit. This is a custom-built aluminum radiator. These cars have been known to have cooling issues from time to time, especially modified ones or ones with a lot of horsepower. And we didn't want any issues, and the folks at Jellybean said, we're going to do this and this will take care of it, and they were absolutely right. This has all been rebuilt, so this is completely new.
And the chrome has been redone as well, obviously, and the bumpers reshaped slightly to accommodate the kind of a slightly sleeker look.
Nothing has been done to the body in terms of top chopping, anything like that. We wanted to keep the lines as they were, as close as possible, but still get modern rubber on it. What we're looking for, somebody across the street would have a look at it and go, it's a Studebaker, some rims on it. And you look at it a little closer and you go, well, actually those are bigger than normal. So subtle, but the more you look at it, the more it reveals itself as something that's been really quite extensively modified.
And some of the detailing is quite lovely. You know, the pinstriping, where the two colors meet, and the way they put the jewelry in on the side. Very nicely put together to give it a continuous and sort of just a pleasing look. The gaps are lovely in the way they've paid attention to the detail of the car. So the trunk has been totally redone, of course, and just set up for practical like anybody would. You've got your luggage nets, and there's lots of space. This gives you an opportunity to kind of see the dash, which is, you know, with the turned metal. It's really one of the things that we really liked about the car. And of course you can see the Canadian emblem, which tells you that the car was made in Canada originally. The leather upholstery on the door was stitched to give it kind of...
It's a tribute to the 55 Speedster, which was the top of the line model. The seats are out of an Infiniti G37 Coupe, 2012.
Little customization done with the Studebaker Lazy S.
But otherwise it's original Infiniti. The radio is a 56 Studebaker, but modified to have AM, FM, MP3 player. So provides good sounds for hours on the road, or even just a few minutes on the road.
Going up a hill, it just kind of eats up the road, and it's very, you have to pay attention when you're driving it, because it's, it's not an automatic, it's a car you have to drive. But by the same token, it's also very responsive. It hugs the corners. It's just a really fun car to drive. That's what I would describe it as.